Hey guys, I hope you like my new setup. I personally do. Um, Today I am here to do a book haul for you guys. I haven't done one in a little while. I've been kind of pumping the brakes a little bit on book hauls, mostly spending my extra money on house stuff. So without too much delay, let's just dive right into it. I probably have, I don't know, maybe 20 books here to haul, and this is since April, perhaps, May, that I have acquired these. A mix of used and new books, as usual. First, I got these used, and I have read the first book in this series. I plan to continue it, obviously, and I picked these up steeply discounted. Somebody had traded in their entire collection of the series, so I just jumped on it when I saw them. And that's the Lightbringer series by Brent Weeks. Like I said, I have read the first one in this series, but this is number 4. And then I also got number 3. And I also got the second book in the Lightbringer series. Next book is a book that I pre-ordered. I still haven't gotten around to it, but I'm still very excited to read it because I read the other series this author has written. I do not remember what the name of it is. Is it the Queens of Renthia series? Yes, the Queens of Renthia series. This is Sarah Beth Durst. I read the first 2 books in that series. The second one was okay. I have not gotten to the third one yet. I heard not everybody's happy with the way it ended. So I've been kind of putting it off. But I got her new book, The Bone Maker. I am super hyped to read this. Honestly, I'm probably going to get to this rather soon. I am really excited to read it. And then I picked this book up used. This was a big deal when I found it. Sometimes I get really lucky when I go to my local used bookstore and I find books that were recent book of the month or recent releases. And that is Piranesi. And this is blurbed in here as for readers of Neil Gaiman's The Ocean at the End of the Lane and fans of Madeline Miller's Circe. So yeah, that's pretty much why I picked this up. I heard about this from another channel, that this is a pretty good read, so I just couldn't pass it up when I found it at the store. I also picked up another Patricia Briggs novel. I have quite a few of hers. I've only read one, but I do plan to read them. I am pretty into the paranormal / urban fantasy or just fantasy romance in general. But I bought Burn Bright, and this is an Alpha and Omega novel. I believe this is the first one in the Alpha and Omega. I don't know. I'm down to read it. It's basically werewolf smut, but you know, who cares? Not me. This one has a receipt inside of it. Here is another one that I bought new, and I have heard a lot of great things about this. I am excited to read this series, and yeah, I'm just excited to see how this one goes for me. And that is The Wolf of Ornyaro. I think there's been a lot of hype around this book on BookTube. Yeah, I'm pumped to read this one. It does sound really interesting. It's basically about a queen trying to unite her land even though she's hated by her people. So, definitely excited to read this. Yet another one that I bought new, and this is a recent release, is The Son of the Storm. And this was a very anticipated release for many people. I really need to get better at doing a synopsis without actually having to read the synopsis, but this is where we're at right now, okay? It's a struggle. These are hauls. I'm not here to give... I should be here to give you a huge synopsis, but I'm not good at it yet. So basically the main character in this story is a scholar, except he doesn't want to be a scholar. And it sounds like he stumbles across a warrior wielding magic that shouldn't exist and is put on a collision course to discover dark secrets, including a hidden history for the city and a journey. So this Sounds super cool. I think this is a new series, I want to say, that is starting. I'm not entirely sure. But I'm here for it. And then, highly recommended by many people, I finally picked up The Bone Shard Daughter. I am hopefully going to read this sooner rather than later. Honestly, I have really been struggling to read lately. I'm reading really slow, and that's when I am reading. But that's just because I'm busy with other stuff and I'm tired a lot of the time. So this year's been kind of a miss with reading, but I'm hoping in the cooler months as they come in, I'm going to be kind of in hermit mode more. So I'm hoping I can catch up. And this, I think, is a fantasy romance. Yet another one. These have been my go-to this year because it's the only thing that keeps me entertained, honestly enough. I've just been stressed with life, you know, buying a house and inheriting a house and, you know, finance and law stuff going on. So it's been a lot, okay? And then I also bought the Book of Coley. I have hauled the second book in this series already. I accidentally bought the second book instead of the first book, so I had to pick up this book when I had gift cards to spend. Honestly, all of these books that I bought new, all of them were purchased with gift cards. So I didn't really pay a lot of money for any of these. Just being transparent there. I also picked up For the Wolf. This is a Little Red Riding Hood retelling, I think. Yeah, it says the first daughter is for the throne, the second daughter is for the wolf. I am excited to read this. My only complaint with this paperback is that it has deckled edges, and I hate them. But that's fine. The cover is gorgeous, and I think this would be a really good winter read, to be honest. And I also picked up All Systems Red by Martha Wells. I do want to get into reading the Murderbot series. I was not expecting this book to be so small and so, like, short. They're pretty much all short, from what I saw, and that's weird. But it was $16 new, and that kind of bummed me out because it's like, what? Yeah, 150 pages long, and it's $16 new. But I've been trying to find these used at the bookstore, and I cannot find them, so I just decided to take the plunge and just buy it. Moving on, now that my camera's overheated, like it always does, and in my vlogs, like if I'm doing something, like I recently did a time lapse, right? Where I was like organizing my bookshelves. And if you see me constantly peeking at my camera, that's because it constantly overheats, and it drives me crazy. I thought getting a faster memory card would solve this issue, but it didn't. Apparently it's just an issue with my camera, so that's the way it is. Anyways, moving on. I bought this book quite a while ago because I am really excited to read it. I have read other books by this author, and I was not the biggest fan. But I did buy Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne. I am really excited to read this one. It's basically like Norse-inspired fantasy with dragons, which is kind of more up my alley. I tend to be kind of hit or miss with medieval-vibed fantasy. It just is the way it is for me. This one I am excited to give a try. If I don't like it, I'm probably going to quit reading his books altogether, unfortunately. Malice was not it for me. Malice drove me crazy, and I had to DNF it. But we're going to give him another shot, okay? So, I bought Shadow of the Gods. I also bought... Ew, it has a dog hair on it. I bought 6 Crimson Cranes. You probably, if you follow me on Instagram, have already seen this because I did take pictures of it. Because it is a gorgeous cover. From my understanding, this has something to do with a curse, cranes, a dragon that shapeshifts. It is YA fantasy, and a lot of people have really loved this story. I have not read it yet, obviously. I'm just hauling it now. But I am excited to read this one, hopefully rather soon. It is high on my radar. I also purchased another Terry Pratchett book, and that's the second book in the Discworld series. I have been buying these used just because I'm not going to pay a new price for them, to be honest. I'm buying the mass market paperbacks, and I don't mind. They're short. The bookstore marks them up quite a bit because they're popular, so when I do see the next one in the series that I need, I just grab it. I got The Light Fantastic by Terry Pratchett, and then I also got The Wolf in the Whale, and this one is actually a little beat up in the front. Another book with deckled edges, and it's a little beat up already. I don't know what happened there. I did see this on another booktuber's channel. I, for the life of me, cannot remember who it was. And the way they summarized it sounded really interesting. So when I saw this used, rather cheap, I decided to pick it up. I just immediately grabbed it. I was like, I want that. I've wanted to read that for a while now. That's why it's beat up, because it's used. This is another one that I bought used. New, it's $26. Used, I got it for $7.55. I was honestly a little shocked to find this because this is a pretty well-loved book, it sounds like, and I think it's a rather new release. Yeah, the English translation just came out in 2020. That's Earthlings. So I'm excited to read this one. It's pretty short. It should be pretty easy. That one is sci-fi. So I don't read a lot of sci-fi, but I have that. And then I also purchased Valentine, and this book has been out for a little while now, but it's been on my radar. And then I also bought The Water Dancer, and I've heard amazing things about this story. New, this was $28. Used, I got it for $4.61, and this is the hardback, and it's in pretty much new condition. So I'm hype to have that. And last but not least, I got Tomi by Junji Ito to add to my Junji Ito collection, which I'm trying to collect all of his works in hardback for my permanent collection. And new, this was $35. I got it for $22.75. So yeah, excited to have it. I hope you guys enjoyed this book haul. If you are equally as excited to read some of these books, just comment below and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. And let me know what you think of my new filming setup. I quite like the color grading and stuff going on, so just let me know if you have any input on that. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later.